Violent clashes erupt as Tibetans resist forced relocation amidst hydropower project. Migrant workers' wage protests ignite social tensions as CCP suppresses information. Zhuhui District Hotel Blaze engulfs lives, 14 injured in 2 critical and desperate rescue efforts. Rapid surge of COVID-19 Xi'an mutant strain raises alarms after Chinese New Year celebrations. Violent clashes erupt as Tibetans resist forced relocation amidst hydropower project. On February 14, hundreds of Tibetans in Dege County, Gars Prefecture, Sichuan Province gathered at the gate of Dege County government to protest, demanding that the government stop the construction of hydropower stations, do not force them to move away from their hometowns. A large number of police officers were on site to maintain stability and had physical collisions with Tibetans. Exiled Tibetan Soccer Tashi released multiple videos on February 14, saying that the CCP has built the largest hydropower station in Sichuan Province in the Kham region of Tibet. This disaster project will have a huge impact on the lives of Tibetans and the ecological environment. One can imagine. On February 14, Tibetans located around the Jinsha River in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River gathered in front of the Dege County government and begged the county government leaders not to allow them to move. If the people did not agree, they should not build a reservoir and stop building the Gantua hydropower station. The video showed that a large number of Tibetans gathered in front of the Dege County government. They shouted slogans, demanding that the authorities immediately stop building the reservoir and refuse to move from their hometown. A large number of police officers were present at the scene to maintain stability, and they pushed and shoved the protesting Tibetans. Public information shows that the Gantua hydropower station is located in the upper reaches of the Jinsha River. It is the leading reservoir power station in the Cascade development of the Sichuan-Tibet section upstream of the Jinsha River hydropower base. The dam site is located in Gantua town, Dege County, northwest of the Gars Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture, Sichuan. The total designed installed capacity is 1.1 million kilowatts, and construction started in 2011. In response to the protests by Tibetans in Sichuan who refused to leave their homes, some netizens left a message. Tibetans inside the country gathered in front of the government to oppose the Red Devils' relocation and resettlement policy. The so-called relocation is an inhumane and genocidal policy that has left many Tibetans were forced to leave their hometown and set up concentration camps so that the Red Devils could uniformly manage and control Tibetans. Tibetans have since lost their most primitive survival and way of life, their local cultural environment, their native language environment where they grew up, and their most important the hometown of love ended up with nothing and wandering on the streets of the city. Migrant workers' wage protests ignite social tensions as CCP suppresses information. Before and after the Chinese New Year, after a large number of videos of migrant workers asking for wages circulated on the internet, the CCP hurriedly blocked the news, and the Beijing subway stations were deserted. Construction worker in Longchang City, Sichuan, here you go, come get the money. Not only that, the Beijing police held an anti-terrorism drill, and the character of the terrorist turned out to be a migrant worker asking for wages. In the Ming Dynasty, not paying back money is not a crime, but those who ask for wages are terrorists. The advantages of this system are leveraging. Senior current affairs commentator Tang Jingyuan, the CCP government agencies do not put pressure on people who are owed wages or use legal means to force them to pay back the money. Instead, they target people who are asking for wages. The reason is very simple, because those who ask for wages are often on the absolutely disadvantaged side. The entire society under the rule of the CCP has completely become a jungle society where the jungle is dominated by the jungle. That is to say, for the social ethos of supremacy of power. Also on New Year's Eve, construction workers at the China Construction 3rd Engineering Bureau in Changzhou, Jiangsu Province asked for wages, but still did not receive their hard-earned money. Another video posted online showed that on the first day of the Lunar New Year this year, a foreman of Dazhou Xinjiang Group in Sichuan beat a worker asking for wages. One worker fell to the ground, and then the foreman was grabbed by other workers. Senior current affairs commentator Wang He, especially in the past few years due to the epidemic, the entire Chinese economy has become worse, and incidents of wage demands have become more frequent. The CCP official only pays lip service to various places not to owe migrant workers wages, but in fact it does not. Practical policy measures have been adopted to effectively help workers get the wages they deserve, and there are no effective measures to help enterprises overcome the current difficulties. Therefore, the current phenomenon of wage demands has not been solved at its root. It is recently reported that in December 2023, a self-media analysis pointed out that 99% of migrant workers in China's construction sites cannot receive monthly wages, and even the basic living expenses of 1,000 to 2,000 yuan per month are currently not available, cannot be issued in time. A large number of netizens reported that information on paycheck demands has been blocked on the internet. Zhuhui District Hotel blazing Gulf's lives, 14 injured in 2 critical and desperate rescue efforts. On February 15th, a fire broke out in a hotel in Zhuhui District, Hanyang, Hunan. The accident injured at least 14 people, 2 of whom were in critical condition. According to the video posted online, the scene was filled with thick smoke, fierce fire, and blazing red flames. Many people were trapped in the building and unable to escape, and many people escaped through fire ladders. Some people shouted loudly, come quickly, save people, there is someone over there." On the 15th, the Zhuhui District Emergency Management Bureau reported that at about 15:29 on the 15th, a fire broke out in the Xi'an restaurant on Dongfeng Road, Zhuhui District, Hanyang, Hunan, with the fire area covering more than 100 square meters. 14 people were sent to hospital for treatment in this fire. Among them, 7 people were hospitalized for observation, 5 people were slightly injured, and 2 people were seriously injured. Lu Media reported that a netizen who claimed to be an eyewitness said that he smelled a burning smell at home and thought it was a fire in the community. When he went to the balcony, he saw it was a nearby restaurant. The whole street was closed and ambulances from 3 hospitals came. Call after call, it's not easy for firefighters, and some are injured. Mainland netizens said, it's opposite my house. It's terrible. The Xi'an restaurant back then. What caused it? Rapid surge of COVID-19 JN1 mutant strain raises alarms after Chinese New Year celebrations. Just after the traditional Chinese New Year, the new coronavirus epidemic in mainland China has intensified, and officials have admitted that the JN1 mutant strain among local cases has become the dominant epidemic strain. On Douyin, a mainland social platform, many netizens reported that they suffered from the new coronavirus during the Spring Festival, developed razor blade throat, and even the whole family became infected. A netizen shared that he tries not to visit relatives or pay New Year greetings in the first month of the year because COVID-19 JN1 is coming and many people around him have contracted the virus again. The blogger said that now the new crown epidemic has started again and the New Year holiday will reach its peak, and many people around him have been succumbed during this Spring Festival period. There are also many families whose whole family has been infected. Sichuan netizens said, our family was really wiped out and more than a dozen people in our family were infected. The attack occurred in the early morning of the night of the 30th, and they stayed in bed all day on the first day of the new year. A Shanxi netizen said, anyway, all 3 of our family have had yang since the year before. A Jiangsu netizen said, the whole family has had yang, and I am so sleepy that I can't even open my eyes. A Tianjin netizen said, it was the first person in our family to have symptoms on New Year's Eve, and then 4 of them had positive symptoms in the past 2 days. Jiang Yakyu, chief physician of the Department of Cardiovascular Medicine at the First Hospital of Jilin University, recently said in a video that it was shocking. Jiang Yakyu said that the night before, 120 sent at least 30 patients to our emergency department, and her medical team had 10 patients. The patients all had large area myocardial infarction and post-infarction heart failure. Jiang Yakyu cited 2 examples, a 29-year-old young man who was already on a non-invasive ventilator, and a similar 35-year-old man. There were many patients that day, many of whom suffered from repeated angina pectoris and myocardial infarction, and some were whimpering. In the comment area of the above video, many netizens believed that it was caused by the new coronavirus. Shanxi netizen said, it is obvious that the sequelae of COVID-19 have hurt the heart. Many middle-aged people passed away last year and this year. I had chest tightness after COVID-19. It is obviously not smoking. Beijing netizen said, virus infection. Shandong netizen said, aren't they all vaccinated by your doctors? No patient creates a patient. Netizens in Heilongjiang said, it's heartbreaking. Only those who know how to persist in detoxification and quickly remove vaccine poison graphene oxide blood clots have a chance to survive. Otherwise, a tsunami of death will erupt and litter the land with corpses. Mainland media reported that at a press conference of the National Health Commission of China on February 4, Chen Chao, a researcher at the Institute of Viral Diseases of the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, said that monitoring data such as recent case reports and sentinel hospital test positivity rates for the new coronavirus in China have increased slightly. It reminds that the new crown epidemic is showing an upward trend. At present, the JN1 mutant strain has become the dominant epidemic strain among local cases in China, and most of them are mild. With the influence of factors such as the increase in cross-regional movement and gathering of people before and after the Spring Festival, the COVID-19 epidemic is expected to gradually increase. According to the latest report from the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, from January 22 to 28, the JN1 new coronavirus mutant strain and its subbranches accounted for more than 50%